are indeed set to get T21 under the arcs of the Wembley Stadium in London. Italy take on Spain for a chance to play the final of what has been a spectacular tournament. Though it is gradually coming to an end, it has left us with lots and lots of wonderful memories. And these teams here tonight will be looking to create yet more memories and hopefully be the teams to progress to take on the English or the Danes over the weekend. Roberto Mancini, fantastic job is done with the Italian side, resurrecting them of sorts. Much can also be said of Luis Enrique, who on the back of much criticism, giving his choice of players to prosecute this tournament for the Spaniards, has done wonders, taking them all the way to this stage. Felix Breich at the centre, picking up the match ball as we're getting ready to truly get underway with the Italians passing us through the kickoff. It is Italy clad in blue, as you would expect, with the golden arcs indicating the numbers behind the jerseys. And it is the Spaniards in all white, of course, who will be doing the business, hoping to get ahead of the Italians. They are led by Sergio Busquets. And indeed, it is kick-off, Spain attacking to the right and defending on the left. And Italy defending on the left, the right and attacking towards the left. As Felix Breich gets us underway.
You know, Kosi, each time Spain have previously won their quarterfinals game, so they have gone on to leave the title. And this time out, they are in the series taking on Italy. Will history repeat itself here in Wembley in England? If Spain will get to leave the title once again after getting past the quarterfinal stages, we're yet to see that.
No, it's a free kick at the centre of the park. It is Marco Verratti, the guilty party. Of course, bringing down Olmo for Spain. Spain will take quickly. Ball is on the left-hand side of the pitch. As it goes all the way back into Eric Garcia, who's bringing Spain forward. He would find Jordi Alba. And back now into Sergio Busquets. They will lose the ball now. And Italy will surrender. It's just lots and lots of activities happening in and around the centre arc. But it is Spain who will look to split away. Was Cesar Azpilicueta looking to pick out Oyabazal, who is the tip of the arrow for the Spanish attack this evening, but it wasn't to be as the Italians are back in control.
You know, against Belgium, we saw the pairing of Bonucci and Chiellini produce something magnificent for the Italians. I remember that when Chiellini wasn't there, of course, for the team, you know, the team didn't look like they missed him, but he came back, you know, and he gave them a certain belief as well, especially against the Belgians, and they did so well. Even when they were going to be run ragged by Lukaku, they held firm. Today, they are going to be making sure that they could hold firm against Olmo and Oyarzabal. Also, Ferran Torres is also in the mix. So it's going to be a very difficult job for Bonucci and Chiellini, who are pairing in the centre.
Well, Gianluigi Donnarumma would find Giorgio Chiellini. Bonucci just passes the ball to Giovanni Di Lorenzo. The ball trick goes out for a throw-in. Bonucci complaining, as is Jorginho. And that's one or two things to say about the tackle by Dani Olmo. It seemed a little bit rough, but the referee wasn't having any of it.
Yeah, it was rough from Dani Olmo, but he wanted to try to get the ball off Chiellini. It wasn't. He didn't just do it the right way. The referee gave Italy the free kick, and the free kick has been taken.
Ball into Jorginho Fredo. Bonucci will launch it further up the pitch, chested down into the part of Immobile by Lorenzo Insigne. Italy can break away. Italy with the first chance of the game is Nicolo Barella. It's a nice one off his goal. Oh, what a strike, and it's off the bar. And Italy with the very first chance, but wouldn't have mattered much. Nicolo Barella's efforts, had it gone into the back of the net, would have been ruled out for offside.
It was really good play coming from Italy. This is what we know Italy for. This is what we know that what they can do. And this time it was, of course, it was, I think, Barella who got the ball to Insigne. Insigne got the ball, of course, to that man up front there, Barella, who initially took a shot, but then it just came off at the bar. It would have been a beautiful goal, but the linesman also called it for offside.
Well, a warning shot fired by the Azzurri. Cannon off the bar, wouldn't have counted. But not for anything. The Italians showing very early on their intent coming into this fixture. As Onah Simon launches the ball forward, but couldn't particularly keep it in play as the goalkeeper for Spain has sent the ball away, and the Italians would have a chance to regroup via the throw-in. As Luis Enrique is shouting instructions very early on upon his feet, showing that these Spanish players keep the focus against an Italian side that have been very, very superb in the tournament so far.
When we're talking about the Italian attack, they've scored 11 times already at the Euros, and it is one of the best tallies they've had, especially firing in 12. One of the best they've had, by the way. In 2006 at the World Cup, they had 12 goals. Maybe scoring here today will equal that tally and maybe surpassing it as well.
Great turn, great spin. Dani Olmo. Here is Italy with a chance. Federico Chiesa speeding forward. Just running to Eric Garcia, whose intended clearance will pick out Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres is running at Leonardo Bonucci. Ferran Torres looking to give the reverse ball to Oyarzabal, but the very much experienced Giorgio Chiellini would just watch the ball run out of play. That's the opportunity. What would have, I'm sure the Spaniards would have imagined was a good chance to hit the Italians. Has trickled out, and Gianluigi Donnarumma can take the ball out for the Italians.
Kosi, we're expecting Oyarzabal to be the centre, the false nine for Spain today, but it looks like it is Olmo who is playing the centre for Oyarzabal. He has gone to the right wing, and Ferran Torres has gone to the left wing. So this is surprising enough for the Italians already, looking at the fact that Oyarzabal has gone to the right and Ferran Torres gone to the left, with Olmo now playing the false nine for Spain.
Indication of how fluid the Spanish attack would be throughout the first 45 at least. Oyarzabal alongside Ferran Torres and Dani Olmo switching places already under 5 minutes. And here they come. Jordi Alba down the left hand side, looking to fit the ball inward to Koki. Giorgio Chiellini would keep an eye on that, as the Italians wouldn't be troubled. Was Chiesa looking to speed away, but couldn't outrun Pedri, who was tracking back. Here is Pedri. Sergio Busquets is in support, deep in the heart of the Spanish midfield. Ball back into Jordi Alba. Busquets will take it all the way back to Aymeric Laporte. Here is Spain in possession. Alba into Olmo. Olmo to Pedri. Back to Eric Garcia, and Lorenzo Insigne was closing down. Sends it back to Unai Simon, his goalkeeper, who kicks it forward. Italy don't think we're in control, but Cesar Azpilicueta would look to clear things out for Spain. In the end, it's Eric Garcia who will launch the ball forward, and it wasn't kept in play. And now Verratti would drop the ball for Emerson Palmieri to take the throw-in for Italy.
We know that when it comes to possession, Spain will do that quite well. They are going to pass the ball amongst themselves. The problem they've had so far in the tournament is being able to, include the front three and also scoring goals as well. We've seen Gerard Moreno also play, but couldn't strike the back of the net. Alvaro Morata saw goals, of course. I think he was against of course, Slovenia and Croatia. He found a goal in the game against Croatia. So they would have to be better up front to try to score against a well defensive structured Italians today.
And the ball is spread by Koki to the feet of Jordi Alba. Dani Olmo turns and sends the ball back to his defence. Aymeric Laporte will find former club teammate Eric Garcia, who is of course now with Barcelona after the expiration of his contract at Manchester City. Hearing news today that Barca would be unable to register him alongside Sergio Aguero and Memphis Depay until they shared about 200 million euros worth of wages. That's a conversation for another time, as Spain are coming forward. Now Jordi Alba on the overlap. Alba will send the ball into the box. It's Leonardo Bonucci who would launch it forward, sending it to his opposite number, Aymeric Laporte. Spain starting to grow into the game on the back of what you could say was an early Italian dominance, of course resulting in that chance for Barella. The ball cannoning off the bar, even though the Inter Milan midfielder was offside.
Spain, the game is gradually building up. The best chance so far we've had came from Italy. Spain haven't been able to do anything up front. They have just been okay passing the ball from the defense to midfield, but nothing concrete going forward. And when the Italians do have the ball, you are certain that they look dangerous, they look dominant going forward, and that's what we've seen from the Italians so far. But Spain, nothing concrete has come up from their attacking so far.
Well, one of Euro's long-standing rivalries unfolds yet again before our eyes. Italy versus Spain. Well, Italy came out tops the round of 16 5 years ago, ending Spain's 8-year reign as European champions. A round that included wins against the Azzurri in the 2008 quarterfinals and the 2012 final. Well, Italy edged past Belgium 2-1 in the quarterfinals to record their 15th successive championship win. Spain can come forward. Oh, it's Oyarzabal who was looking to shape and shoot off his left boot, but a sea of blue shirts in the heart of the Italian defence ensured that the ball wouldn't even get to Gianluigi Donnarumma. Spain stay dominant. Here's Pedri. Back to Jordi Alba. Aymeric Laporte. Finding lots of joy since switching to represent Spain as opposed to France. That's for the Quetta, phasing forward, 21, Oyarzabal has the ball, fits it into Koki. Koki back to Oyarzabal. Now Spain are laying siege the Italian half of the pitch. They would find Pedri. Pedri would look to find Ferran Torres. Torres looking for options in the box, couldn't find it, perhaps the lack of a traditional centre forward, and he had to retreat back to his defence as Spain looked to build up once again.
It isn't the fact that there is no traditional centre forward in this Spanish team. They've had Alvaro Morata, in the mix, but still they haven't been able to break through defence. And today it is going to be a mountain to climb against Bonucci and Chiellini, who are pairing in the centre of defence for the Italians. And you're looking at, of course, Emerson in the left and Di Lorenzo in the right. It's going to be a very difficult one for Spain. If they can't seem to break this defence, they would have to look for another way round to get goals in this game.
No, certainly. I have to say that Spain are starting to look very much the better side. The Italians are being forced to pack their own half of the pitch, defending the possession that the Spaniards have at the moment. Dani Olmo is complaining to the referee Felix Breich about a tackle early on from Jorginho Frello. Olmo has been having bit of a proper patch in midfield against the Italians today, I have to say. Dani Olmo, the RB Leipzig midfielder. Now Pedri can bring Spain forward. Beautiful chance crafted for Oyarzabal, but wouldn't quite collect it properly. And Italy would be happy about that, as they have a chance to perhaps go forward on a counter-attack, but the Spaniards recovering ever so well, keeping them yet again at bay.
Oyarzabal had the ball in the 18-yard box of the Italian, but he just lost the ball somehow. And of course, it is the defense who are going to do justice with the ball. It was Chiellini who took the ball off Oyarzabal's leg and launched the ball out to keep the Italians, away from the pressure, at least for the little time that they have.
Mikel Oyarzabal, 18 caps for Spain, 5 goals. Great chance for him to have made it 6th. And open Spain's account here tonight, but wouldn't quite collect. Wonderfully crafted, I have to say, the ball behind the Italian defence, but wouldn't eventually count for anything. Dani Olmo spins away from Leonardo Bonucci. It's Bonucci recovering, and looks like Bonucci would give away the corner kick, but Felix Breich just pointed to the goal kick sports, and something the Spaniards are certainly not happy about.
Yes, of course they wouldn't be happy about that. But we're looking at that particular encounter again. The ball coming all the way from the middle from Pedri straight on to he was trying to look on, because that wasn't Pedri. It came off the legs of Onah, was it? It got to of course that man in the middle, Oyazabal, but he had absolutely nothing to do with the ball. He got it. His first touch was great, but while he was trying to push the ball forward, Chiellini just dispossessed him of the ball, intercepted him neatly and launched the ball out to keep the scoreline level at this point after 40 minutes of game time play.
Yes, indeed. 14 minutes of game time. Italy 0, Spain 0. It's been Spain, on account of what I have seen. Perhaps the sports diva would be of a different opinion, who have been the better side as Pedri is coming forward. Pedri beats his marker, flashes a shot, and it's just wide off the post. And make that Ferran Torres, the Manchester City forward, who just trickled his way through past his marker. It's in midfield. Right intentions, but in the end he didn't have the accuracy to trouble Gianluca Donnarumma. Right
intention, but I think it was Barella who, of course, didn't communicate well with his players, and he lost control of the ball, sent it straight on to Ferran Torres, who had to do a lot of flicks to get past the Italians, and then he took a shot, but it was just way off a target for Spain to have taken the lead over Italy today.
Here's Marco Verratti. Now into Giorgio Chiellini. Bonucci would have it. Bonucci would launch it forward, looking to spot the run of Federico Chiesa down the right hand side of the Italian sack. The ball was overhit in Spain, as they have been, but yet again enjoy some ball possession. Oh, brilliant ball. Dani Olmo tees up Pedri. Pedri will pick out Ferran Torres on the far left hand side, up against Giovanni Di Lorenzo. Here Ferran Torres, lovely movement. Jordi Alba making the opening, but pass was a little bit overhit, and the Barcelona left back wouldn't latch into it.
I think we are replaying a movie that Spain were involved with against Sweden, against Poland. It was all about them dominating, but somehow they keep having this misplaced passes, couldn't find the back of the net, and it's happening here again against Italy. They're having all the possessions, they're doing everything right going forward, but when it gets to the final third, they are clueless, and that's what has kept this game even at this point in time. They need to be better. They need to be able to break down the defense to try to get goals, but they just keep shooting the ball wide.
Let's have a look at the statistics so far after 16 minutes of play. Italy with just a meager 23% of the ball, Spain with 77% of the ball, and it is Spain who have recorded the only shot on goal in this encounter. Italy with none on goal, none on target. That says Aspilicueta. Look to find Sergio Busquets, who couldn't correct quite cleanly, and that looks to been called for a foul. Felix Baich indicating that the Spanish captain had brought down Nicolo Barella quite illegally after his first touch, speaking of Sergio Busquets, let him down.
Yes, Sergio Busquets brought Barella down, but I was thinking should have been called as a foul by Baich in this particular situation, but he knows better. He gave a free kick to Italy, so it's Italy being awarded a free kick at this moment.
And it is Lorenzo Insigne looking to supply the ball to the rest of the players who have made their way forward towards the 18-yard area of the Spaniards, including Giorgio Chiellini and Oyabazal, Koki, the rest of the Spanish defenders looking to keep them at bay. Click forward, and it's Unai Simon who gathers quite comfortably for Spain, and the free kick opportunity for Italy would fizzle away. So a dink by Lorenzo Insigne.
A very good one. It was a good nipper from that man, Lorenzo Insigne. He was trying to find, of course, a couple of heads in the 18-yard box for Italy, but their heads, the ball was just too far away from them, and he came into the good embrace of Unai Simon, who, of course, saved that one.
Well, it's a corner kick for Spain. Unai Simon caught and quickly set them on the way. It was Ferran Torres up against Giovanni Di Lorenzo, supported by Jorginho Frello. And his intention, Ferran Torres, was to send a cross into the box, but it came off the foot of Jorginho Frello. And now Spain have a corner kick on the far left-hand side. And it looks like it's going to be an in-swinger. Aymeric Laporte, Dani Olmo, all in the box, including Cesar Azpilicueta. Yabazao will sweep it in. Left-footed out-swinger. It's headed away quite easily by the Italians. Now Pedri has the ball for Spain, showing command for a young man of 18. Ball is swept by Unai Simon to pick out Jordi Alba. Spain will lose the ball. Yabazao couldn't quite control it. And looking to pick out Federico Chiesa, but the ball has gone out of touch. And throw-in has been awarded to the Italians or the Spaniards. We will find out in just a moment. Yes, Roberto Mancini is screaming instructions at his players. Something they would be looking to start executing right from this moment, so that they have a throw-in. Ball is with Giovanni Di Lorenzo. Sends it forward. Jorginho will whack it towards his attacker Ciro Immobile. Aymeric Laporte would calmly collect. Now Spain can come forward. Dani Olmo, found by Koki. Still Dani Olmo. Brilliant play by Nicolo Barella to get the ball from the Spanish midfielder. In the end, he's also given away a foul on Marco Verratti this time.
And he was a really good run from Verratti, trying to get past the Spaniard midfielders, and he did that so well. It was just the fact that they couldn't take it anymore. It was Busquets who tried to make sure that he could take that ball away, but Dani Olmo also helped out. So of course, it was a free kick awarded to Italy.
Now Emerson Palmieri is overlapping. Unai Simon is in no man's land. Italy with a chance. It's Barella, shapes the shoot. I couldn't quite execute it with the amount of precision that was required. And Unai Simon really straight out from his area and was almost cut out by Emerson Palmieri.
That was close, a very close call for Unai Simon. I remember he made a mistake also in I think was it in the round of 16 where it looked like he scored an own goal, but the own goal wasn't awarded to him, of course. But then he would have to be more careful, looking at how pacey of this man is. He would, as Nicolo Barella, he would have to make sure that he doesn't take rash decisions, running out of his 18, running out of where he saves zone to try to get the ball, and good defense once again from the Spaniards to avert that threat away from the Italians.
Unai Simon's blush is saved. The quick response of his defense to him rushing out of his goal and getting stranded. Alba would send the ball into the path of Sergio Busquets, who's running things really deep in the heart of midfield for Spain. As they look to come forward, it will be intercepted by Di Lorenzo. And Ciro Immobile was the man they intended to pick out, but he's caught in quite a lonely figure up front, sandwiched between Eric Garcia and Aymeric Laporte, with the rest of his teammates in blue. On many occasions looking too far away from him, as they are sitting quite deep, trying to defend the onslaught of Spain. Simon. Ball forward, searching for Ferran Torres. He's up against Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo, who would just guard the ball to go out for the throw, which he takes quickly to his own goalkeeper, Donnarumma. So Donnarumma would find Giorgio Chiellini. Chiellini at the heart of the Italian defence finds Jorginho Frello. Emerson Palmieri would send it back to the heart of his defence, as Chiellini will pick out Bonucci, who is his centre-back partner for this fixture. Palmieri. Now Marco Verratti can make his own contribution, selects to take the ball to Emerson Palmieri, who picks out his captain Chiellini. Chiellini with a long ball, searching for the overlap of Federico Chiesa, but off his left foot he sends it straight into the throw-in.
If I were Mancini right now, and I'll be a little bit disturbed with how Spain are, having leverage going forward, dominating the midfield as well. It's going to cause a major trouble for the Italians if they do not take the initiative to try to close down the Spaniards. Maybe in a couple of minutes right now they have done that, and they've been attacking quite well. They've had chances, but they would have to be more concise with their attacking.
Certainly, Pedri finds time to just backheel the ball into Sergio Busquets, who, as cool as you like, would settle it for Eric Garcia. Spain in complete control. 70% of the ball they have to the 30% being scarcely enjoyed by the Italians. Aspilicueta, Busquets, now Eric Garcia, and he would find Aymeric Laporte. Laporte coming forward. Here is Jordi Alba to Ferran Torres, back to Jordi Alba. Lots of space in the midfield. He picks out Koki. Olmo would send the ball to Cesar Aspilicueta, who's racing forward. Now Oyarzabal off his left foot goes infield and picks out Sergio Busquets. Looks to have been brought down at the edge of the area, but Philip Bright, where's the to go on? Spain collect possession yet again. Italy looking at 6s and 7s on the overlap. Here is Alba into Ferran Torres. Now Dani Olmo looking to find Ferran Torres. A bit too lightweight up against Leonardo Bonucci. And quite easily Gianluca Donnarumma would pick the ball up to save the Italians from the oncoming pressure from the Spaniards.
It looks disturbing that the Italians have enough bodies in the middle and also attacking wise, but they haven't used it efficiently against the Spaniards. I think that it can take them down. I think that they can also man-mark every Spaniard, but they haven't been getting their job.
Chance saved by Gianluca Donnarumma, and it was off the right boot of Dani Olmo. And the ball did ricochet off the Italian defender, but and fell kindly for Dani Olmo, who on his second attempt did indeed launch it towards Gianluca Donnarumma, but the big man between the sticks for Italy would go down quite well to palm it away, and Spain carving yet another opportunity and very nearly getting the ball into the back of the net.
Well, if you have if you run commentaries on Spain games, you must be very cautious with how you shout or with how you scream out their chances, because they would have plenty of them, but before you know it, the game would end goalless or probably get to extra time. But that was a really good attempt from the Spaniard. Omar, once again, he had a beautiful chance up front. It was Donnarumma who sent the ball out to the middle. The ball went on to find the Spaniard in the middle, who sent the ball immediately to the attackers up front. Olmo had a shot at this time. It was Donnarumma who came to the rescue of Italy.
Dani Olmo on his 16th cap for Spain, the 23-year-old playing ever so well. I have to say, I've been massively impressed by how he's managed to find lots and lots of spaces in between Barella, Jorginho and Marco Verratti. And there he was, nearly opening the scoring for Spain. Fine margins, and Italy survive yet again.
Bonucci was quite lucky because he was pulling Dani Olmo, but as good as he would get, the referee didn't get to see that, and also Dani Olmo didn't fall. If he had fallen down on the 18-yard box, I'm sure that VAR would have reviewed that, and probably a penalty would have been given to Spain. So he would have to be more careful, especially against Dani Olmo, who is quite pacey in the middle for the La Roja's attack. Italy
searching for answers. It's been Spain asking all the questions. Now Dani Olmo yet again inside the box. Has he been brought down by Giorgio Chiellini? He goes down to the turf and is screaming in pain. Felix Bright having none of it. It's very interesting what has gone down there. Will it even be reviewed by the video assistant referee, as Felix Bright feels there is absolutely no need. And ball would go into Donnarumma's opposite number, Unai Simon, who picks up and finds Eric Garcia, who's playing quite comfortably, especially when Ciro Immobile is looking quite lonely up front for Italy. Oh no, yet another flick into Pedri, and the Spaniards speeding forward. Jordi Alba joins the attack, and he would find Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres up against Giovanni Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo will bring him down. Spain will have a free kick.
Spain are playing really well from the left to the right and to the middle of the park. They've been dispersing the ball quite well. Ferran Torres got the ball, but this time he was being tackled by Di Lorenzo, who fouled him, and referee has awarded Spain a free kick.
Free kick taken quickly. Just Spain back to their usual habits. Hogging the ball. Making the Italians look quite ordinary. Onah Simon, long ball forward, searching for Ferran Torres. Ball would settle into the feet of Gianluigi Donnarumma. Di Lorenzo is flanking him to the right, and he picks him out. Di Lorenzo just packs the ball straight back to his goalkeeper. As Italy are looking for a way out of their own 18-yard box. Giannini sends a long grasping ball, and he would pick out Federico Chiesa. Oh, long ball forward. Will Ciro Immobile indeed, well, he was looking to spring the offside trap. Unai Simon had other ideas, and Spain are looking very well organised and seem to have all the answers to the Italian question, at least for the nearly 30 minutes that we have seen.
Yeah, they seem to be organised, but that's also due to the fact that the Italians, the Azzurris, haven't threatened the defence of Spain as much as they should have. Like I said, they have able bodies in front to do that. Chiesa is there, Ciro Immobile is there as well, and Insigne, who was brilliant against Belgium, is also in the mix, but they haven't had those chances going forward. They would have to create them going forward in this game. But Spain have had the better chances. They've been the better side going forward. Olmo has been fabulous for them as well. Ferran Torres from the left has done quite well for the Spaniards as well. Pedri is also very small. You wouldn't get to notice him, but he has done really well just passing the ball to the attackers to do something bright with it up front.
And if you're just joining us, this is 92.3 Nigeria Info's commentary coverage of the first of the two semi-final games left in Euro 2020. It is Italy taking on Spain at the Wembley Stadium in London. A chance to take on either England or Denmark in the final. 30 minutes on the clock. Italy 0, Spain 0. Yes, we get an indication that there might be a change by the Italians. Domenico Berardi starting to warm up on instructions from the coaching staff of Roberto Mancini. Now here they come. Chiesa speeding forward. Will he overlap? Indeed, it is Eric Garcia who is Aymeric Laporte who will go to ground to take the ball back to his goalkeeper. Now under pressure, Koki surrenders the ball to Eric Garcia. Garcia would send a long ball, looking to find Ferran Torres. He was at the time being checked by Giovanni Di Lorenzo. And it is Ferran Torres who will commit the foul and give Italy a free kick.
Italy are looking good going forward. They've had control of the ball just these few minutes, but Spain had made things quite difficult for them going forward. Ferran Torres just committed a foul against Di Lorenzo, and the free kick has been won by that man, the number 2 shirt for Italy, Di Lorenzo.
Italy taking a bit of time to execute this free kick. Perhaps trying to catch the breath and try to understand what's been happening since the start of the game. Here is Chiellini, receives the sideway pass from Donnarumma, could find Emerson Palmieri, the Chelsea man. Di Lorenzo would fit the ball off him as Aymeric Laporte just marking quite astutely Ciro Immobile. Wouldn't even allow the Lazio man to turn around, went to ground to knock the ball off for a throw. Now throw has been taken. Italy robbed off the ball. Dani Olmo in support is Oyabazal. Olmo goes alone. It is high, rising and wide. And the number 19 this time wouldn't trouble Donnarumma.
He had plenty of options going forward. He just had Oyazabal by his right and also Ferran Torres on his left. I thought that he would have gone Oyazabal, who had a better chance, prancing forward with the ball and sending the ball into the middle of the back for either Olmo or Ferran Torres, who would have been inside the box. But he decided to take a shot, but this time it wasn't anywhere to trouble Donnarumma, and he, of course, had given them a goal kick.
Goal kick taken. Ball sends forward. Immobile chasing Aymeric Laporte would clear at the very last minute. Not quite sure if his goalkeeper Unai Simon was racing out to collect. Did the wise thing, which is just to send the ball sideways and take it out for a throw, which is to be taken by Di Lorenzo for Italy. Di Lorenzo finds Chiesa. Back to Di Lorenzo. Ball into the box. Once again, it is cleared by Manchester City's Aymeric Laporte. It's quite brilliant on the day partnering with Eric Garcia. Chiesa searching for the ball into the box. Busquets will settle it for Jordi Alba. Alba will launch it forward. And it is Giorgio Chiellini, I'm sure, who was given a foul, but not so sure. Felix Breich waves play to go on. I thought Chiellini was climbing all over him. Now Lorenzo Insigne. Emerson in support, goes infield to wonderful ball through the mid to the heart of the Spanish defence to find Insigne, but Cesar Azpilicueta ensuring that Lorenzo Insigne has no sniff. But that was a good return ball by Ciro Immobile to pick out the rampaging forward.
A really good ball put in into the middle of the park by Ciro Immobile, who of course tried to find Insigne. Insigne had the ball, but he was dispossessed by that man, Cesar Azpilicueta, who had to clear the ball clean and fair, of course, for the Spaniards.
Here is Verratti. Spreads it to Lorenzo Insigne, goes back to Emerson Palmieri. It is playing with a high press and not allowing the Italians any minutes on the ball. And that's exactly why Ciro Immobile has given the ball away quite cheaply. And, the flag raised by the linesman indicates that the number 17 for Italy was retreating from an offside position. Ferran Torres for Spain. Now into captain Sergio Busquets. What's been said between Felix Breich and Di Lorenzo? No, in just a moment. And yes, indeed, he obviously did leave something on Ferran Torres there, Giovanni Di Lorenzo.
Yes, he did. I think we've seen that these two players go head to head today. That is Ferran Torres and of course Lorenzo. They've had those fouls committed amongst themselves, and this time it is Di Lorenzo who stamped, of course, on the foot of Ferran Torres and have won Spain a free kick.
Azpilicueta. Oyabazar will dominate the ball for Koki. Busquets into Aspi. Aspi would find Garcia, who would pick out Aymeric Laporte immediately. Laporte will send the ball to the far left hand side to pick out Alba. Now Pedri. Twisting and turning, goes back to Eric Garcia. And once more Azpilicueta can build for Spain down the right hand side. Laporte. Here is Alba. Long ball, looking to tip it behind Di Lorenzo for Ferran Torres. Wasn't to be. So Jorginho would send the ball to Donnarumma. Palmieri would head it into Insigne. Now Italy can break away. Emerson Palmieri through the heart of the midfield, running forward. Has players in support. Has he indeed been brought down? Felix Breich waves play on as Sergio Busquets can bring Spain out of their own area to start an attack of their own. Ball now into Pedri. Pedri selects to step on the brakes and kill the momentum for Spain by sending it all the way back to his defence. It's a bit of a walking pace football from Aymeric Laporte and his centre-back partner Eric Garcia. Teasing the Italians, taunting them to come out and to have the ball. Dani Olmo, quite brilliant. The best player for me in the Spain setup. I don't know about you, Sports Steve.
He is for me too. I have watched him a couple of times, and what he has done has been quite impressive. So yes, I would agree that he is of course the best player in the squad for Spain this time out at the Euros.
Laporte. Alba. So wasteful ball, looking to find Ferran Torres, but instead find the Italian defender who just send the ball out of touch. And Spain will have a throw. Roberto Mancini prancing about, looking like a coach who is deeply worried. And he indeed has to be, as Spain are running circles around the Italians at the moment. Here's Koki. And Felix Breich sounded the whistle, much to the displeasure of Sergio Busquets, who felt that was uncalled for. And indeed, there was nothing in it. His challenge against Nicolo Barella.
Yes, of course, the referee might agree on that, but we're looking at our replay. A very good run from Emerson, who I thought had plenty of options going forward. He was really pacing through the middle for Italy, but then he was dispossessed at the right time by Sergio Busquets, the captain of the Spanish team.
Busquets probably had time for back heel to his teammates, but the Italians will rob him off the ball. Wouldn't matter much. Spain have quickly recovered it and are looking to speed away. Here is Pedri, sets it into the part of Koki. Now Oyabazal looking to bend it past Gianluigi Donnarumma, looking to use Giorgio Chiellini. But you could spot what it was he was trying to do, but execution was way off the mark. Koki.
At this time out, Spain had a clear plan, which was to get the ball from the middle to, of course, Oyarzabal, who was open and unmarked by the Italians. He finally got the ball. He struck a very good ball with his left foot, but it was just once again just centimeters away from the goal post. Spain would have to take these chances. When Italy gets these chances, I'm quite sure that one must and will go into the back of the net. So whatever chance Spain can get, they should be able to take.
Well, you certainly must be fond of Oyabazal to say that his effort was just centimeters. I thought it was a little bit wider than that, Spot Steve.
I was being fair.
Well, now maybe Italy can have in sort of the run. Unai Simon would deny them, racing off his line. And, it's Marco Verratti who picks up the ball in disgust, and the hands usually made by the Italians is out. Nicola Barella asking what on earth he has done wrong. That challenge against Sergio Busquets, and from the looks of it, just slipped the ball off the Spanish captain. Nothing more to it, is there?
Yeah, there was nothing much to it, but I remember a few incidents ago where Busquets also had something to do with, of course, Insigne in the middle of the park. There was no much contact, but the referee gave the Italians a free kick. So this could be similar to that one won by Italy.
Unai Simon. Ball in his 18-yard space. Garcia sends it forward. Chiellini recovers. Insigne passes to Emerson Palmieri. Italy seeing a bit of the ball now. All out to the run at the centre of the park. Exchanging passes, the pair of centre-backs, Chiellini and Bonucci. Insigne will get involved briefly, and Chiellini and Bonucci will have it once again. And they have involved Giovanni Di Lorenzo in the conversation. It's a bit of a ping-pong affair at the moment. Ball not quite settling with either side, Spain or Italy. But in the end, it is Ciro Immobile who seems to have been spotted in an offside position. Yes, Roberto Mancini is looking on. This is where coaches earn their money. He has to find a tactical response to the problems that Spain have been posing from the launch of the first whistle up until this moment, in which we've seen 41 minutes, leaving us with just about make that 3 minutes to the expiration of the 45 in regulation. Oyabazal speeding forward. Yes, of course, Cesar Azpilicueta. Now Laporte. Ball into Alba. Alba to Pedri, to Olmo. Olmo looking to have a give and go with Pedri, but wouldn't matter much. Gianluigi Donnarumma has gladly gathered the ball. And, for all the possession, we still have to say the Italian rearguard has remained unbridged so far after 42 minutes.
Plenty of mistakes made by both teams when it comes to their attack. We've seen a couple of mistakes made by the Italians when they attack, as well as Spain when they attack. But this time it was Pedri who was trying to break through the defense, the Italian defense, and the ball was cleared by Donnarumma. Maybe not cleared, but rightfully saved by that man, Donnarumma.
The 22-year-old goalkeeper who's a free agent at the moment. Gianluigi Donnarumma will not be playing the San Siro next season. Where he will end up, time will tell, of course. Yes, Emerson Palmieri, who we know where he plays, which is of course at Chelsea, has been brought down. And in the dying end of the first 45, it's starting to fizzle out a little bit in terms of Spain's concentrated attack. And Italy are managing to see a little bit more of the ball as the Spanish possession has decreased from 70% to 67%. The Italians increasing by 3% to 33% from 30% as they take the free kick. Quite short. Verratti would feed it into Di Lorenzo. It's a brilliant ball into Federico Chiesa. He's up against Busquets. He finds Jorginho. Long ball. Bonucci searching for Lorenzo Insigne. It's Insigne up against Azpilicueta, supported by Emerson Palmieri. Uses Palmieri. Palmieri will send the ball. It looks like it's crashed off the bar. And he's telling the referee that it's actually a save from Unai Simon. But Felix Bright seems to be of the opinion that indeed it had gone out for a goal kick.
I was thinking that Emerson was trying to cost him that ball, but he was actually going for goal. He had everybody in the middle to send that cross in, but he chose to strike it. But this time he didn't get to win any corner. It was a goal kick for Spain.
Yeah, the ball crashed off the bar on its way out. Perhaps looking to catch Simon on his near post. I wonder if he could have squared it deeper into the box. And it is Dani Olmo who was speeding away. A referee blowing his whistle, and he did for half time. Yes, it's been all Spain nearly through the entirety of the first half. And Roberto Mancini is the first to race into the dressing room because he knows indeed that he has a lot of work to do. As his chances of making it to Wembley yet again after this fixture will be quite slim if he plays the way he played in the first 45 against a Spain side that has been quite brilliant, almost utterly dominant in the second. It is half-time at Wembley. Italy 0. Well, it is Spain as well 0.
The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes traversing state lines and capitals from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but
leave us a message on 080 Spaniards would have been happy with a good first half, doing the reverse defending on the right and attacking towards the left as Phyllis Bright gives the instruction. And we get on the way yet again as these two giants of European and world football slog it out once more for a place in the final, where they will be taking on either Denmark or, England, who would be feeling that, with the final taking place where this fixture is happening at Wembley, they might well be in within a chance of lifting it. Roberto Mancini could have said words to his players, given them instructions. We were not, of course, privy to that conversation, but the way they will set out in the second half might show us some pointers to what might have been said in the dressing room, as well as Luis Enrique and his Spanish side.
Still no changes yet for the two teams, and it looks like the coaches in Roberto Mancini and Luis Enrique are quite satisfied with what they saw in the first half. If I were Luis Enrique, I would have been proud of what we saw in the first half, only the fact that we haven't been able to take the chances as for Spain. But for Roberto Mancini, there is a lot of worries for him and his team, looking at the fact that they seem to be sitting too deep defensive against the Spaniards. I would advise them to come out a little bit, and when there is every need to defend, they defend with as a back.
To refresh your memory, this is the way that the two teams are lining up. For Italy, it's still a 4-3 formation. Donnarumma, the goalkeeper. Chiellini pairs with Bonucci at central defence. Emerson Palmieri comes in place of the injured Spinazzola, while Giovanni Di Lorenzo completes the back four. In midfield, you have Marco Verratti, Jorginho Frello, and Nicolo Barella. Of France, Lorenzo Insigne plays alongside Ciro Immobile and Federico Chiesa. Now Spain, who are in attack at the moment, replying with a similar 4-2-3 formation. Unai Simon keeping David De Gea at the bench still. Eric Garcia pairing with Aymeric Laporte at central defence. Cesar Azpilicueta and Jordi Alba complete the back four, while in midfield Sergio Busquets is sitting deep, allowing Koki and Pedri to flourish a bit further off ahead of him. In attack you have Dani Olmo, Yabazao and Ferran Torres. Now Busquets finds Ferran Torres, which is playing back to Eric Garcia, is looking quite remarkably comfortable so far in the game against Ciro Immobile, being of course helped out by Aymeric Laporte. And Unai Simon with a mistake that might prove costly, and it might well indeed prove costly for Spain, as the ball has ricocheted off the feet of Cesar Azpilicueta, and Italy have a corner kick 2 minutes after the resumption.
The Italians are making sure that they mount enough pressure on the Spaniard, which of course must have cost Unai Simon to make a slight mistake, which would have cost him, but it was a hit off for a corner kick by Cesar Azpilicueta in favour of the Italians.
Insigne will take, Spain will head away. It is Spain looking to break on the counter-attack. Dani Olmo looking to free up the chasing Ferran Torres. Nicolo Barella would recover. Ball is still with the Italians, this time through Jorginho Frello, who sends a long ball searching for Ciro Immobile, who's up against Aymeric Laporte and Jordi Alba. In the end, his team efforts off his left foot will trickle away for what does indeed look to the naked eye to be a goal kick. We will see if the referee and linesman think otherwise.
It is a very good run and a very nice ball placed in for that man in Ciro Immobile, who had, of course, Aymeric Laporte in front of him to wait off that attack, and it was actually a goal kick in favour of Spain.
Now the naked eye assessment correct. That was indeed a goal kick. It's long been taken. Oyabazar speeding forward, has Olmo in support. He still almost squares the ball deep. Oh, what a chance it would have been for Ferran Torres, but it's Di Lorenzo Giovanni who was paying attention, fully aware there was a man just behind him, chooses to knock it out and consider corner kick as opposed to leaving it a chance.
Onah has really been a threat in the left-hand side for the Italians, and this time remember that Spain are coming from the right hand, and he was looking for that man in Ferran Torres in the middle of the park, sent the ball straight on into the middle, but it was that man Di Lorenzo who took out the ball for a corner kick in favour of Spain. It is going to be much work for the Italians defending off this attack coming from the Spanish national team.
Koki Number 8 for Spain would whip in the corner kick, punched away by Donnarumma. Danger still not averted. Spain still with the ball. Oyabazal and Jordi Alba exchanging passes. Italy may look to break away now. It is Sergio Busquets just bringing down Ciro Immobile, conceding the free kick in the process and earning himself a yellow card for his troubles. The number 5 for the captain armband for Spain. He's had a very good game. Sergio Busquets just at the heart of the midfield for Spain so far.
It was a good call by Brecher. It was a really bad tackle from Sergio Busquets. The ball wasn't also on the foot of Ciro Immobile. It was just coming to him, and Sergio Busquets intercepted him without the ball. The referee gave him a yellow card for that bad tackle.
Sergio Busquets will turn 33 on the 16th of this month, having been born all the way back in 1988. Made his debut for Spain versus Turkey all the way back in February of 2009, playing 16 minutes after substituting David Silva in that encounter. 127 cap, only scored twice. He won the World Cup in 2010 in South Africa and also won Euro 2012. I'll talk about his achievements in club football for Barca. Had a quite fulfilling career, Sergio Busquets. Father as well, Carles Busquets, was a goalkeeper for Barcelona during the 90s, and he played every minute as Spain won Euro 2012 edition.
Sounds like family business for the Busquets.
Well, here is Oyabazal doing the business for the Spaniards. Kosi on his left foot. Busquets! Oh, just tips the ball over. And was that a fingertip save by Donnarumma? The replays will help us with that. But talk about Sergio Busquets. He was racing all the way to the edge of the penalty box for the Italians. Picked out by Oyabazal, just looking to clip the ball at goal. It's a fine strike, but it's a matter of inches. And inches not in his favour, Sergio Busquets.
A good ball coming off the feet of Oyabazal, who did all the hard work trying to take out the defenders of Italy. Spotted, of course, Sergio Busquets running in the middle of the park and sent the cross straight to him. It was a fine shot taken by Sergio Busquets, but it was just inches, centimetres away from the high net.
Chiesa up against Alba. Chiesa strikes it, saved by Unai Simon. As Italy are starting to find some belief going forward. Fed into the Juve man by Borrella. At the end, good strike, but not enough to take it past Unai Simon.
Good strike, but a weak one for that matter. Of course, which saw Unai Simon save it quite comfortably against him. It was an attempt on goal from Chiesa, which I have talked about, that they should make use of his space. The Italians have found a way to do that, and that was a really good attempt coming from Chiesa, but Unai Simon was there to save.
Well, Chiesa scored a 5th minute of extra time against Austria. Finally taking strike. And possibly one of the factors for his selection ahead of Domenico Berardi in this game. But on that time he wasn't able to shoot as well as he did against the Austrians. Aymeric Laporte bringing Spain further ahead. Ball is into the Manchester City centre back. Laporte into Eric Garcia. But found Oyabazal, who tips it into Koki. Koki will check Emerson Palmieri, who was marking him. Oyabazal into Azpilicueta. Here they come, Spain. Pedri. Now Eric Garcia can spread it wide to the right. Spain starting to enjoy possession as they did in the first 45. Italy content with retreating and keeping the shape. How long they can hang on to that without conceding. Time once again is what will tell. Laporte. Sergio Busquets threads it into Oyabazal. Passes in great number for Spain, but after 55 minutes, still 0-0. Now looking to find Alba. It is Di Lorenzo. Showing a great bit of pace, experience and sensibility to just let the ball run, even as Alba was looking for the decoy.
Yeah, Di Lorenzo was a really good defense to try to stop in that attack coming from the Spaniards. The Spaniards have looked quite confident, and besides, it's been a very pulsating start to the second half with end-to-end stuff from both teams. We've seen the Italians threaten the goalpost of the Spaniards, and also the Spaniards threaten the goalpost of the Azuris. It's been quite eventful in the second half, but still nothing concrete yet after, of course, 56 minutes of game time played here at Wembley.
Now Domenico Berardi is stripped and ready to join the foray for Italy, who will be substituted in place of him. Yet remains to be known, by us at least. Marco Verratti is evading the tackle of Oyabazal deep in midfield before switching it to Chiellini, who would find Insigne. Now Palmieri will cross into the box. It's wonderfully blocked by Eric Garcia. Aspilicueta searching for Dani Olmo. Olmo will win it against Chiellini. Still Dani Olmo. Brilliant ball sent into the path of Pedri. Ferran Torres is in support. The ball into the feet of Ferran Torres, looking to coil it in. It's read pretty well by number 2 for Italy, Giovanni Di Lorenzo. And the Spanish breakaway was halted. And Italy still in a bit of trouble. It's Jorginho has cleverly won a free kick off Dani Olmo. And Italy will get some reprieve. That was a wonderful attack engineered by Dani Olmo once again, nearly setting up Ferran Torres for Spain's opener, but it wasn't to be. Not a bit of wonderful defending by the Italians.
Good piece of attack initiated by Dani Olmo, and of course the man has pace, he has strength, he has stamina. With his pace, he ran ragged the defense of the Italian, found of course Oyazabal in the middle, who of course also found Ferran Torres, but Ferran Torres was just dispossessed by that man Di Lorenzo, who did nicely against of course in Ferran Torres, and once again the Italians can breathe a breath of fresh air.
Their breath of fresh air wouldn't last for very long, as Spain are on it again. Fine Oyabazal, wonderful strike, but met with a wonderful bit of save as well. Didn't quite even trouble Gianluigi Donnarumma, who just all 6'4" of him.
Wonderful, I wouldn't use that word. It was a very soft shot coming from Oyazabal. That was the reason why it wasn't, of course, threatening to Donnarumma, who just got the ball comfortable where he should be.
Well, Immobile up against Laporte. Immobile finding it extremely difficult to beat the Spanish centre-back. And he's robbed off the ball. Laporte collaborating with Jordi Alba to that effect. Here is Olmo. Brilliant every single time he steps on the ball. Now Busquets joins the attack for Spain. Here is Pedri surging forward. Now Ferran Torres back into 18-year-old Pedri. Plays it into the path of Alba, who just lazily passes to Sergio Busquets. A good pass, disguised of course by Busquets. Aspilicueta. Spain knocking on the door. Still Spain. Laporte coming forward. Laporte, the centre-back for Spain, is just at the edge of the Italian 18-yard area. Yes, there's a bit of trouble. And now Ferran Torres with a cross into the box, straight into the arms of Gianluigi Donnarumma, who's looking in a hurry to set the Italians on their way. They do that, finding Lorenzo Insigne. Now it's a breakaway for Italy, and it is Aymeric Laporte, so it's a good piece of defending, but danger still not averted. Oh, what a goal from that wonderful player, Federico Chiesa. And the Italians find the answer that the Spaniards have been seeking for with all their ball possession. And it is often said that in football, possession isn't everything, and this is the Italians typifying that. The first chance they have carved out in the second half, and it's the first goal of the fixture. Italy 1, Spain 0.
A similar goal to that scored by this man Federico Chiesa against Belgium, and he took a really good swipe off the ball and just found the back of the net against a Spanish side that have dominated, that have shown progress, that have shown determination, that should have taken of course the opener in this game. But it is the Italian, well initiated by Donnarumma after that a good attack from Spain, and he sent the ball through to Insigne. Of course Insigne found Chiesa, of course Ciro Immobile, who was stopped by the defenders, but then Chiesa lost the ball straight on to Barella. Barella got the ball and he took a really good swipe of the ball, and of course Unai Simon could do absolutely nothing with that ball. He saw the ball, got past him and straight into the back of the net, and it is Italy 1, Spain 0 at Wembley.
His third goal for his country, and that is a strike that will live long in the memory of Federico Chiesa. Son of Enrico Chiesa, who played 32 times for the Azzurri between 1996 and 2001, and he continues the family's rich tradition of representing the Azzurri to the good, sending the Italian fans into a stream of rapturous joy. And what a strike it was to bend the ball past Unai Simon, who was rooted to the sport. And for all their good work, Spain are on dawn at the moment. Substitution: Domenico Berardi of Sassuolo joins the foray, and substituted is Ciro Immobile of Lazio. So we'll look to see who will play through the middle now for Italy. Seems as though Di Lorenzo will do that, while Chiesa would go on to the left hand side of attack, and Domenico Berardi would start in his favourite right hand side of the Italian attack.
It is also Spain making their own change with Ferran Torres out for Alvaro Morata in to try to see if they can get an equalizer against the Italians. But I remember against Belgium when with the introduction of Belotti and Berardi, they ran, of course, the Belgians ragged. They created a couple of chances as well. They gave them options. They gave the Italians options going forward. Can we see that inclusion produce something, a spark for the Italians today with Berardi just in a couple of minutes ago?
Football, they say, doesn't always reward playing beautifully. You know, the Spaniards have played some beautiful football today, but in the end they have fallen short when it matters the most, and where it matters the most, which is on the scoreboard, as Italy yet again managed to find the goal as they have been in the games that they have been prosecuted in the UEFA Euro 2020 happening, of course, in 2021. They've had quite a journey as a man who knows them pretty well, who plays in Italy. Morata teammates with Bonucci and Chiellini joins the foray. Corner kick comes in, headed away by Chiellini, the captain. Spain must be shell-shocked at the moment.
They should be.
Wondering where it all went wrong. It's Pedri, Olmo winning the throw. That's Quetta. Looks a bit in a hurry as Luis Enrique is still up on his feet, issuing instructions. 63 minutes, still a lot of time to play for. The earlier they get going, the better. But trust the Italians to do everything within their power to protect the leads that they so preciously have.
The second half seemed to be quite eventful with how it has started, with of course the two sides asking questions, the two sides giving us end-to-end stuff, and it is the Italians, the Azzurris, who have finally broken the deadlock. They've had a breakthrough over Spain, who have dominated, who have been knocking, but haven't seemed to find the right answer to questions that they've asked. It is them trailing here in Wembley against Italy 1-0.
Yeah, trailing against Italy, that have managed to score every single time they've played so far. All started in the first game for them in the group stage against Italy. And Spain with a chance! Goodness gracious me, how in the world did Oyarzabal miss that chance? And you could see Luis Enrique on the just at the dugout, hands on his head, wondering the same thing I'm wondering. How did Oyarzabal miss that chance? Wonderfully crafted by Koki. I'm
not live on TV, but then I had the same reaction with Luis Enrique. It was An equalizer, a chance for an equalizer, but Oyarzabal just couldn't get his head to the ball, and the ball just went wide. Off target it was for Spain. This is what I was talking about. Spain have created the chances, they've had the chances, but haven't been able to be decisive and be clinical in front of a goal against Donnarumma to be able to get a goal in this game.
Well, if this game ends with Spain going out, well, trust that Oyarzabal wouldn't dare watch the replays of this game, as his miss will be on the highlight reel.
Two good chances for Oyarzabal.
Now, Spain cross into the box, this time met by Leonardo Bonucci. But now with Aymeric Laporte as the men in white look to craft another bit of attack. Here's Koki. Now Aspilicueta would cross into the box from whence it came, sends it Giorgio Chiellini. Now Koki sounds a little bit like Koki.
Yeah, seems to be a distant cousin.
Spain still dominant on the ball. Here's Oyarzabal collecting Olmo. The follow-up is snapped to short, and wouldn't trouble Donnarumma, but Spain still well and truly alive, showing that they are still very much interested in leveling the score lines, as it were. Dani Olmo, so brilliant he has been in this game, but has to shoot better if he is to get to the end of the business side of things for Spain.
Another good chance for Spain, and good connection from Oyarzabal, and of course from Dani Olmo. They've been connected in this game for far too long, but they haven't been able to take the chances. Oyarzabal had the ball, dropped it for Olmo, who was just behind him, but almost swept, took a shot, but it just didn't do it the right way, and it just went off target for Spain.
Here is Alvaro Morata. Sends the ball straight into the feet of Di Lorenzo at the time, but Morata can collect once again. He's up against three Italian players, loses the ball. Italy looking to break away. Di Lorenzo, and it is goal scorer Federico Chiesa who they were seeking to make use of. Now Domenico Berardi is supporting, so is Insigne. Still Chiesa with the ball, finds Domenico Berardi. Looking to catch Unai Simon through the legs, but the man between the sticks for Spain will stay strong, and Italy will not add to the goal that they have, but can regroup once more through Giorgio Chiellini. But good chance, Chiesa proving quite useful, almost releasing Domenico Berardi for the second goal for Italy.
I talked about the inclusion of Berardi, and whenever he comes in, he produces plenty of options going forward for the Italians. And here we saw Berardi and Chiesa forming a good partnership to try to get the second for Italy, but it was just, of course, intercepted by that man, of course, Unai Simon, who have been quite good for the Spanish national team today against the Italians. He hasn't had much troubles against the attackers, but then he did quite well to save that one, not to go into the back of the net.
Yeah, we'll take this message on WhatsApp from Engineer Miracle. It says, good evening, Sports Gang. I think Italy did what they had to do in the first half by allowing Spain to do the playing, and expecting Italy to come out and win the second half. Well, they have the goal, and if it stays this way, if they manage to add to what they have, it will be well indeed true, and your prediction would be said to have come to pass. Get the messages coming, 0809-030-6416. Push K. Reverse ball into Dani Olmo. It's Olmo once again questioning the referee's decision to award Italy a free kick. He was up against Nicolo Barella. So we see that opportunity yet again from Domenico Berardi.
It was a really good attempt from, of course, Domenico Berardi. Ever since he came in, he's had good pace from the right hand side for the Italians, and his contribution has just shown so far for the team. They could go forward, and they could also get more goals in the game.
This one says, good evening, Sports Gang. Cam Smith texting from Abar Road. I want Italy to win, but I don't like the way they are doing in front of goal. They should stop depending on the counter. I want them to call them all out and take this game to Spain. I'm watching the game right now in the comforts of my home. Oh, congratulations to you. If you are of the Italian persuasion, they are a goal to the good. And if it ends right now, they will be playing in the final. Another substitution. There's 2 changes for Spain. Rodri comes in for Koki Resurrection, and Mikel Oyarzabal with the miss of the day goes off, and Villarreal's Gerard Moreno will be the man Spain will be looking to, alongside maybe even go in front of the Italians in the 20 minutes that we have left to play. Ball dip into the box, searching for Gerard Moreno. Heads it, but quite tame. Onah will find Pedri. Pedri switches to Jordi Alba, who sends a deep cross into the box. And it looks like Donnarumma had been fouled by Cesar Azpilicueta, and yes, indeed, the referee obliges. And another chance gone begging for Spain.
Another chance gone begging for Spain. It would have been Cesar Azpilicueta who would have had his head to the ball, but the ball was just, of course, intercepted by Donnarumma, who was highest on air to try to save that one before he went into the back of the net against the Italians. But good introduction from Luis Enrique to the Spanish team, taking out Koki for Rodri as well, who is going to marshal things in the middle and also try to attack with the side as well. And Gerard Moreno. So we now have Alvaro Morata and Gerard Moreno to try to propel the attack and see if they can get an equalizer and probably get to win this one over Italy.
Yes, Domenico Berardi was running at Jordi Alba, couldn't quite sort his feet out. In the end, it's the Barca fullback who was able to defend against that counter-attack from Italy. And the result will be that there will be a throw for the Azzurri to take from the right-hand side of the Spanish half of the pitch. Di Lorenzo, ball in hand, finds Berardi. Ball is sent away. Italy still in possession. Jorginho will pick out Leonardo Bonucci, who squares it for Chiellini. Emerson to Chiellini. Bonucci in space finds Chelsea's Jorginho. And now Donnarumma can have a feel of the ball. The goalkeeper nearly losing it. Passing the ball almost straight to the feet of Alvaro Morata, and raises his hands, acknowledging his mistake, and in that way apologising to his teammates, as we see a double change about to be effected by Roberto Mancini.
Yeah, double change coming in shortly for the Italians. It looks like that man Verratti will be taking off for Pessina, who is coming in to try to give them options going for. Verratti has done well. He did better against Belgium. He was really, really good. He was flawless against Belgium in their previous game. But here, I didn't get to see plenty from him as well. But good time out for him to be taken out. And of course, that man Pessina brought in to change him as well. But I would say that it has been very eventful, not as it was in the first half. Second half has produced sparks. It has produced a lot of action coming into the second half.
Yes, certainly. It is indeed Marco Verratti whose contribution for Italy has come to an end, at least for today. And in comes Matteo Pessina, 24 years of age, spent last season at Hellas Verona on loan from Atalanta. Comes in for his 9th cap. Did it in fact to score Italy's second goal against Austria in what ended up as the winner, 2-1 after extra time. And Rafael Toloi also makes his way, replacing Emerson Palmieri, as the Italians look to protect what they have, and if the opportunity presents itself as well, add to the goal count. Here is Spain. All the way back to Aymeric Laporte's Unai Simon, sends it to Eric Garcia. Well taken. Gerard Moreno settles it. And Spain will go all the way back to Unai Simon, as Spain can gradually build play once again. A pair of centre-backs, Aymeric Laporte bringing them forward alongside Eric Garcia. Now Laporte into Olmo looking to nick the ball straight into Alvaro Morata, who's scarcely contributed since being substituted into the game. is up against, I have to say, for the up-team time, Bonucci and Chiellini in a matchup that happens, I suppose, almost every single day at Juventus' training ground. He will know them truly well, his advantage, and which would also be his disadvantage, as his centre-backs will indeed know him pretty well as well.
I was thinking that Luis Enrique would want to bring in Marcos Llorente to attack more for the Spaniards, but he went on to bring in Rodri, who is a sitting midfielder for the Spanish team. But then he knows better. He has monitored the game, and he felt that Rodri coming in ahead of Llorente will produce the goal for them.
Well, next on WhatsApp says, hey guys, I trust you're having a good time. Your name is Kosi and you're listening from Abuja. It says the reason La Roja having the upper hand is because the Azzurri have not played anyone like Spain thus far. Every team they've played have always set up to defend. Even Belgium set up to defend, but Spain wants the possession and they demand it and even press immediately. They lose possession. This is why I think Spain is going to win. They just need to pull the ball at the back of the net. Well, my friend Kosi, if Spain do, they will just be having an equalizer as Italy are leading by a 0-0. And Gerard Moreno sleeping in Alvaro Morata. It's, his club teammate, Bonucci, who went to the ground, perhaps able to very well anticipate what the intentions of Morata were. And Spain have a corner kick from where they can respond and perhaps find an equalizer.
It was soft work defending from that man, Chiellini, who had to avert that stress coming from Morata. Morata was, in the right place at the right time. The ball came to him, fell to him, and then he wanted to strike the ball, but then there was Chiellini who averted that for a corner for Spain.
Spain will keep plugging away to the very end. Latest chance fell to Alvaro Morata, who could only shoot straight to the feet of Bonucci. A corner kick that was poorly taken by Dani Olmo. And the Italian defence rarely troubled. Donnarumma ball in hand, taking as much seconds as he can off the clock as we're approaching the 80th minute, which will leave Spain with 10 minutes left to stay in Euro 2020. Unable to replicate what they did in 1964, 2008 and 2012. Very much a changed side. How do you think the feeling will be in Spain? Sports Diva haven't left the more notable names at home for this fixture. Enrique came for a lot of criticism, but will they be satisfied, Spain, with getting to the semi-finals with such a young squad?
I wouldn't say they'll be satisfied with what the squad has done. Looking at how they went past the group stages, went through the quarters, and now in the semis they're here against Italy, and now are almost out of the feet out of the competition. I don't think the fans will be too excited with what have happened, leaving the regular names, regular faces for behind at home to come down here to take on a really fresh squad and players that are quite just young, too young, 18, 19, thereabouts, and they're here once again. Though they did well getting to the semis, but then I do not think the fans of Spain will be entirely happy with what the team produced so far in the Euro 2020.
Now, time is not the friend of Spain, as it's with every second that goes off the clock, their elimination draws ever closer. Perhaps now they can do something with the ball as they have it. Eric Garcia advancing towards the Spanish half of the pitch, Italian half of the pitch I should say, ball into Gerard Moreno. Now Rodri has it, and I'm wondering why that substitution came in the first place. Seems to have slowed Spain down a tad bit. Garcia into Cesar Azpilicueta. Aspi looking to find Sergio Busquets, has nipped off the ball. Now Domenico Berardi can bend the ball past Unai Simon. Well, he indeed did bend it, but not past Unai Simon, as the goalkeeper knew exactly what the number 11 for Italy wanted to do and anticipated, went to ground and got out without much trouble.
Well anticipated from Unai Simon. The ball just came to him comfortably, and he dealt with that one comfortably as well. When you're looking at the Italians, who have only conceded once so far in this in the Euro 2020, and are still looking at
Morata! Spain have found the equalizer from a man who knows Italian football pretty well. His name is Alvaro Morata. And just about 10 minutes to the end of the game, it is 1-1 between Italy and Spain. And for the first time in the tournament, in the duration of 90 minutes, the Italian defense is breached.
Just talking about the Italians having conceded just one goal so far in the tournament. This is the second goal that they have conceded. It is Alvaro Morata who has given a lifeline to Spain. They were looking distraught. They were looking, negative at the fact that they were almost out of the tournament. But that man, Alvaro Morata, has given them a lifeline to hold on till extra time and even take the lead here to defeat Italy here at Wembley. Good work done by Morata. And then again, it is left for them to take every chance that they can now get to the finals.
Well-deserved assists from Dani Olmo, picking the Italian defence apart. Alvaro Morata, calm finish, cool as you like. And yes, we are level once again, and it seems as though we might be heading into extra time. And Giorgio Chiellini, from the looks of things, and as you would pretty well expect, very disappointed. Alvaro Morata coming for a lot of criticism very early on in the tournament, missing a sport kick at some point, but he has found redemption. And across Spain they will be cheering his name, Morata, 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 alongside Viva España. And we're passing the ball for the third time in the second half, testament to what proceedings have been. First during the kickoff for the second 45, and when Spain passed after Italy scored, and now Italy passing after the Spaniards found the equalizer.
It is now going to be a very difficult one again. It is now level here after 82 minutes of game time played at Wembley. The Italians looked distraught after the equalizer came in from Alvaro Morata. They would need to be compact. They would need to attack and get the winner over Spain, and make sure that they can also defend the weight of every attack coming from that man in Alvaro Morata. His inclusion as the dividends for the Spanish team.
Corner kick for Spain. Could it get worse for Italy? Nearly does. It was Aymeric Laporte creeping in to the back posts after the ball was kept in play by Sergio Busquets. Fine margins. 1-1 could have easily been 2-1 in favour of Spain on that occasion.
In less than a few seconds, it would have been Spain taking the lead over the Italians, but it was really not anticipated from that man in Laporte, who didn't have the pace to keep the ball in and gave them Spain, a lifeline to see if they can get the second goal of the encounter.
8 minutes left to play the regular 90. All square between Italy and Spain. Chiesa with a good rock. Alvaro Morata with a fine response, and this tie isn't decided yet. It's a throwing to the Italians, taken by Toloi, who has replaced Emerson Palmieri, and Spain would have been boosted by that wonderful goal. Good rock, Dani Olmo, to set up Alvaro Morata for that equaliser. Now Italy have to fashion a way past the Italian Spanish defence. Heavy gas here. Now with Aymeric Laporte searching for options. Busquets offering it at the centre of the pack, chooses to select Rodri. Now Morata on the prowl. Morata still with the ball, squares it inward. It is a chance for Spain. It's skied wide, and it is Gerard Moreno, the substitute. Is not managing to find his shooting boots on that occasion. Had a fine season with Villarreal, culminating, of course, in winning the Europa League, beating Manchester United in the final. And checked his marker. Left much to be desired with the follow-up effort.
It was of course that man in Gerard Moreno who initiated an attack. He found the runs being made down the middle from Alvaro Morata, and they sent the ball straight to him. Morata stopped for a bit to send the ball back to Gerard Moreno, who swept the ball, but it was way off target.
Changes for Italy. Locatelli with 3 goals in the tournament joins the foray, replacing Nicolo Barella, as Andrea Bellotti looks to also join the foray as Lorenzo Insigne's contribution to Italy's course comes to an end. He will be hoping it's not his last contribution into this tournament, as we see Marcos Llorente coming in for Cesar Azpilicueta. The Atletico Madrid man will be slotting in at right full back. Hence the coaches throwing their hats into the ring, perhaps looking to avoid extra time and make the most of it. The most of it is the 5 minutes left to play. Ball is sent forward by Donnarumma. It will be collected by Andrea Bellotti, and Spain would win the throw-in, to be quickly taken by Marcos Llorente. Looking on is Roberto Mancini, as well as Luis Enrique, both coaches screaming instructions at the players. America Ports, Spain looking to find a way forward. Alba would find Pedri. It's Dani Olmo robbed off the ball. And Felix Breich, it's getting quite feisty. And this is where he has to stamp his authority in the game. Frustrations boiling over, this time between Jorginho Frello and Dani Olmo. The referee is having a word with the two, trying to calm things down, which is of course his job description. Now taken by Italy, the free kick. Laporte finds Alba. Alba with his left foot whacks it forward. Locatelli kept in play by Domenico Berardi. Oh, it must be a foul, and it's Pedri on the turf screaming in pain, and suggestions by the Spaniards that Jorginho should be issued a caution. Falling on deaf ears. Felix Breich not feeling it was worth it. As we look at that incident once again.
Yeah, we're looking at that incident again. It wasn't enough for a yellow card. It was even, of course, Chiellini who had the ball to himself before Pedri came in to intercept, and that was Jorginho who had the ball. But then it was Pedri who came in and fell, and the referee gave Spain a free kick.
Well, Roboski from PH City says, "Goal Italia, I told you guys." Well, it's long been goal España as well. Spain could possibly make it too. Alvaro Morata drags the ball a little bit too much forward, and he's run out of playing surface, and the ball will go out, of course, consequently, and Italy would enjoy a goal kick. Well, next on WhatsApp say the Azzurri are going to the final. Mike Mill from Rumo C. Thank you very much, Mike Mill. It's 1-1 at the moment. Will your predictions come to pass? Well, we will see. This one says, I've never supported Spain. I would love Italy to win. Your name is Dove. Thank you very much for your message on WhatsApp, Dove. Keep them coming in. This one says, good evening, Double K. I'm enjoying the game with you guys at home. Congratulations to the Italians, but I think the game is still open. Time, Catholic. You guys are doing well. Ino Baba is your name, and you're calling, texting from Rumoda. Thank you very much. Now, Italy with the ball. Reverse pass into his teammate, but ball looked to have gone out of touch. No, it hasn't. And it was Gerard Moreno looking to pass the ball further up the pitch, but send the ball into the feet of Marcos Llorente. It went out of touch. Italy would enjoy a throw. Toloi. Ball in hand, looking for options. Locatelli is making his way towards the far left-hand side. Ball stays on the far left-hand side, but finds Andrea Bellotti instead. Headed by Bonucci. Domenico Berardi goes back to his teammate, and they lose the ball to Spain, who recover the round leader in their own 18-yard area. Passing forward, here is Manchester City's Rodri. Sending it back to Unai Simon. Italians having a bit of a high press of their own. Ball is sent forward, searching for goal scorer. Alvaro Morata is up against Giorgio Chiellini, and forces Chiellini into a mispass. Energy from Alvaro Morata paying dividends for Spain.
I talked about his inclusion, and that was exactly what we're getting. That is exactly what we're getting from Alvaro Morata. He has come and he has given them the different options going forward, and he's done quite well getting them the equalizer against Italy. That is enough lifeline to keep them in the game, at least till extra time, to see if they can come back to win it. They've done lots of changes on extra time against Croatia especially. So yeah, going forward, let's see how that would work for Spain.
Well, there was a penalty shout. The Spaniards ball did appear to have touched the hand of Giorgio Chiellini. That Felix Breich waved on. Now against 4 Spaniards, it is Chiesa coming up short. Now 19 minutes on the dot, 3 minutes of added time, 30 seconds of which has been played, and if nothing changes for either side in the goal scoring side of things, we're headed straight to another 30 minutes, which of course will be for extra time. Started even through the 90, stayed even. Will it stay even through the 3 minutes? I'll make it 2 minutes left to play. Well, Spain will seek to respond to that as they win a corner kick of Giovanni Di Lorenzo. And perhaps the Spaniards can have the final say of this contest. As we see that replay again. Ball did indeed touch Giorgio Chiellini's hand, but I wouldn't give it if I was a referee, I think.
I wouldn't give that if I was the referee too, and I think it's the right decision. It was Chiellini who dealt with the ball, but he fell, and then the ball came to his hand. So I don't think that should have stood as a penalty, and the referee thought the same as well.
Corner taken by Onah, headed away. Llorente plays it safe. To Unai Simon. Spain can build once again. Options. Pedri is searching for. Finds it in Aymeric Laporte. Laporte. Long ball from Sergio Busquets, searching for the run of Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo seems to have got himself in a bit of an entanglement with Donnarumma, and for his efforts is having a bit of a talking to by the referee Felix Breich. Now Italy on the way, as it seemed at the time. Andrea Belotti's space was looking to be released down the right hand side, but Unai Simon, ever attentive, just stepping out of his goal to ensure that the danger is averted for Spain.
Nothing to trouble the Spanish goalkeeper Onah Simon, who dealt with that ball rightly. It wasn't enough threats coming from Italy, and he dealt with it rightly.
Well, Busquets seems to have spent quite an awful amount of time on the ball, robbed of it, but as has been the case for much of the game, Italy unable to take advantage of that. And Mancini has the look of a man who was full of regret. They were just 10 minutes away from wrapping things up, weren't they?
They were just 10 minutes away, but they made a couple of changes to how solidify defensively, and we've gotten to see, of course, the Lorenzo go to the left while Belotti comes into the right when it comes to defense, and we've seen that, but they haven't been able to ward off those threats coming in from, of course, the Spanish team.
Absolute swap position. Toloi now playing in Di Lorenzo's preferred left back, and Di Lorenzo now going to the left hand side. Substitution we thought it was, but indeed it's full time at Wembley, and it's Italy 1, Spain 0, and as a result you know what we're heading for. It is indeed extra time, as this much anticipated tie ends yet again with both teams level. And the way we started, even if the scoreline has changed quite a little bit, it is still 1-1, meaning there is no victor so far. We will play through the 30 minutes of extra time, and perhaps even decide who will play either England or Denmark in the finals via the penalty sport.
The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria.
First period of extra time about to commence. Side change once again. Italians starting from where they did in the very first half, kicking the ball from the right to the left to the Spaniards kicking the ball from the left towards the right. Well, some of these are players who have been on from the very first minute, will have to dig deep, go to the reserve tank of energy to try to keep doing the course for their respective countries. Now Spain, who have the ball. Aymeric Laporte picks out Jordi Alba. Now Dani Olmo once again, as has been doing in the first half, evading his marker this time around. It is Rafael Toloi. Now up against the number 19. And Spain have a free kick. And they will be looking at this and imagining that they could fashion out something quite interesting from it. It was looked to have been Jordi Alba, but now it's going to be Pedri to take it. The big boys have made their way into the box. The Italians keeping the straight line, ball into the box, searching for a shirt in white. Meets a head wearing a blue jersey, and it's headed away and was still for the Spaniards. Rodri gives away a free kick, and was Rodri up against Giovanni Di Lorenzo, and the Italians can breathe easy.
The Spaniards created magic in extra time against the Croatians, defeating them 5-3 after it was a regulation time 3-all. Extra time, they had to score 2 more to change the narrative to qualify for the quarterfinals. And then here they are again in extra time trying to see off for the Italians. It's going to be a difficult one, but can they produce that same magic they had against Croatia?
Well, the Italians themselves have been through extra time against Austria. Through the 90, stuck a 0-0 before in the 5th minute of the first period of extra time. Federico Chiesa scored, and Pessina would score the second. The goal from the Austrians wouldn't matter at the end of the day in that game that sent them forth to face Belgium, which were world number 1 in terms of the rankings, dispatched by the Italians. And this is why they are at Wembley playing on Spain. Italy with the free kick. It's taken, sent backwards. Chiellini searching for Andrea Bellotti, much like Ciro Immobile before him. Unable to get the better of Aymeric Laporte, who has been superb so far in the game. Hasn't missed a thing. Nothing has managed to evade him. His partner, Eric Garcia, can bring Spain forward. Marcos Llorente. Back to Eric Garcia. Unai Simon will have a touch of it. Just a 5-yard pass, and he found Aymeric Laporte making his way out of the 18-yard area, with Spain advancing forward. It's becoming quite a tight and cagey game. Pushke back to Garcia. You could see that Andrea Bellotti isn't interested in chasing the goalkeeper. He's perhaps reserving his energy for the quick break that might come through the first period, perhaps maybe even in the second. It's a grueling sport. Players, some of them manage just to make it through the 90, but for some, even in times like this where they have to play the extra 30, you never notice. And you never feel like though they are out of breath.
You're looking at the Italians who have already made 4 or 5 changes. Still, they still have 1 more in this first period or the second period of extra time. I hope they can make use of that nicely. But for the Spaniards, they just have about 4 changes made into the first period of extra time, and looking at the fact that they have 2 more to go in extra time, probably even if this game gets to penalty, they still have 2 players that they can call up to freshen things up for the Spaniards.
Well, next message on WhatsApp describes Spain as the weakest team left in the last 4. Said they got here by luck and injustice, and your name is Austin Chigoziem. Thank you very much, Mr. Rusting. Next says, good evening, sports gang. Italians are playing with the Mourinho mentality. The result is more important than ball possession. Your name is Michael Adiele, and of course you're texting us from Aba. Thank you very much, Mike. As we look ahead to the next message on WhatsApp. This one says, good evening, sports gang. I'm enjoying every bit of the commentary. Thanks for being your companion this evening. You say Italy to go through. The name is Gillis Victor Oconte. I hope I got it correctly. And you're texting us from Odili Road. Thank you very much, Victor. We will see if your Italians will go all the way as we keep our focus back on the game. Andrea Bellotti is up on his feet after being brought down. Well, Spain still in possession. Now Dani Olmo looking for the flick towards Pedri. He's robbed off the ball by a sea of blue shirts. Now Spain have a throw. Alba searching for who to throw to. The Barca left back finds Dani Olmo. Much talk about Jordi Alba being one of the players that could possibly be released by Barca to, of course, shift the wage burden that they have. They need to shed 200 million worth of wages if they are to register any of the players that they have signed. Barcelona exposed as a club that have been badly run for some years now, and with Lionel Messi a free agent and the troubles that they have within their finances, I wonder what the summer transfer window might hold for the club.
I'm sure after the Euros we'll get all the details that we need when it comes to Barcelona transfer. Like you already stated, they've been run very badly for a couple of years now, and they're trying to make sure they come back after loads of debts they're in. But let's wait and see after the Euros and see what Barca will do as a club.
And that is indeed a free kick, no doubt. Rafael Toloi being run ragged by Dani Olmo for the second time, and it's about 5 to 10 minutes. To have been in an entanglement. The Spaniard looking to evade him, the Italian bringing him down by any means necessary, and this time he goes into the referee's book, and Spain would have a chance to whip in a free kick into the box and perhaps take advantage of an Italian side who haven't managed to sort themselves out so far in the first 15 at the first part of extra time. Ball into the box. It's a low ball. Spain with a chance. It's a second in, and it's eventually tipped away and palmed away by Gianluigi Donnarumma. But Spain are fashioning chances, and that was pretty close. But Donnarumma had to stay strong to keep the scoreline, as it were, especially in view of Italy not going behind.
A really good save from Donnarumma, but then you want to give all credit to the Spaniards from a very good, well-taken free kick from them. Got into the middle of the park and had to make sure Donnarumma was kept busy. He punched the ball out, but then it didn't go out clearly and went back and fell to the legs of the Spaniards again, and they tried to take a swipe at the ball, but this time it just went out for a goal kick in favour of the Italians.
Well, we're halfway through the first half of extra time. 8 minutes, 30 seconds. Still Italy 1. Spain 1. Bonucci. Italy have possession but deep in their own part of the pitch. Ball is sent forward by Rafael Toloi, searching for his right winger. Now Jorginho will lose the ball in midfield. Stands up quickly, recovers it, but Felix Reich, his whistle has gone, and this time in favour of Pedri. And the culprits this time around is Domenico Berardi, who's having a word. So with who exactly, pictures wouldn't allow us to tell. So, managing to find a smile, the fans, the both of them in Italy colours. But I must imagine how tense it must feel for Spaniards and Italians and their supporters at Wembley and indeed all across the world.
Kosi, I still can't believe how young Pedri is and what he has done in this game against Italy. He has had 100% passing accuracy in this game against the Italians. The young man is just 18, and you could see what he has produced so far. He's really, really good when it comes to attacking wise for the Spaniards, and he has done so well. I must give him kudos for what he has done against the Italians.
Well, that's Pedro Gonzalez Lopez, otherwise known as Pedri, just 18 years of age. 25th of November 2002 was his birth date. Well, earning his 10th cap for his country. A player who looks and shades of things has a pretty bright career ahead of him. One for the future. Unai Simon for Spain. You must forgive us if it's starting to sound a little bit unexciting, but that's truly the way it has panned out before. The way the game has panned out before our eyes.
Yeah.
As you would imagine, some of these players are tired. It's a grueling 90 minutes, and this is where you have to play it cautiously. So falling behind might be a difficult one to recover from.
It's like we've gone back to the first half of of regulation time, just as this first period in extra time is looking like it's all about Spain trying to pressure the defense of the Italians, and the Italians have tried their possible best to ward off those attacks and those threats coming in from the Spanish national team. And they once again are back to the first half of regulation time.
Yeah, Pedri, twinkle toed, finds Alba. Now Rodri can't square it out to Gerard Moreno off his left foot, crossing to the box, looking for the head of Alvaro Morata. And Donnarumma was at some points there off his line, but his defence saving the blushes of the goalkeeper, showing that, of course, defending is a collective effort. But Spain are knocking on the ball and have nearly 70% of the possession, 1% shy of it, 69% to Italy's 31%.
It was a well-taken shot by Marcos Llorente, the substitute who came in the second half of regulation time, and of course it was Donnarumma who got his hands to the ball away to ward off the threats coming in from the Spanish national team, and also of course that number 19 shirt for the Italians. He also had to make sure that I think it was number 19. He made sure that he had to ward off those threats coming in from the Spanish national. Spain have had the chances going forward also in the first period of extra time. Once again, we would now say that they're not taking those chances, and the Italians are looking like, well, we can take this all to penalties.
How is this truly true to the words of Dr. Koki? How is this for comparison? It's looking at the short statistics, just as we see Andrea Bellotti into the thinking that he was clean through to perhaps try a shot towards Unai Simon, but it was flat for offside. But Docus, how is this for what you've just mentioned? Inability of Spain to take advantage of the chances. 14 shots on goal, but only 4 on target. But check this out. The Italians don't even nearly have as much as they do on goal, just 6 on goal. The Italians have 4 on targets, the same way that the Spaniards do.
That's how precise the Italians want to look in this game. If we have the chances, we have to make sure we can convert them. If we can't convert them, it has to be on target. And that's what the Italians have done. And that was how, of course, that man Chiesa got them the first goal before Alvaro Morata equalized after so many chances for them, the Spanish national team.
We have a man looking already ahead to the final. Says it will be Italy and England. Spain lack the finishing. If the stops at the end, there are no goals. I'm not sure I got that part of it, but thank you all the same for it. This one says this is the third goal they are conceding. They conceded against Austria and Belgium, and now, yes, that was indeed an error on my part. It's the second, not the third, they are conceding. They indeed conceded a goal against Belgium, but yes, that was a penalty, and I'm not sure the goal against Austria truly counts, as it didn't happen in regulation time, as I did try to explain that it was for the first time in 90 minutes, as I thought at the time that their defense was breached, but it was breached against the Belgians, and thank you very much for that point of order. This one says one game we respond football without violence. You're saying that you would like Spain to come out victorious, and Morata just scored, but I don't really like him because he wastes a lot of chances. Kenny's your name and you're texting from Garrison. Well, Spain are on the rampage. Here is Pedri switching it to his left. Aymeric Laporte is the man with the ball, fitting it just casually to Sergio Busquets. And now Rodri. Now Gerard Moreno back into Manchester City's Rodri. Fashions a chance for Gerard Moreno, squares the ball into the box. It's Leonardo Bonucci who was there to answer the call of the Italian defense. And the ball will go away for a throw, and Spain can reboot immediately. And they're all over the Italians, just as it was for much of the first half especially. And well, it's 15 minutes on the clock, and as a result, Felix Baich sounds the whistle, and it's half-time in extra time. pass has been done. Yes, the Italians have kicked us off in what is the second and final part of extra time. As both teams unlocked a 1-1 scoreline. It should send us straight to penalties. If it stays this way, our penalty, they say, is anyone's game. So if they have to take charge of their destinies, this is when they would have a better chance of truly doing that. Free kick for Spain. Throw-in for Spain, rather. So taken by Jordi Alba. Ball up in the air. Multiple headed balls still up in the air. This time Olmo will settle it. Brilliant shades of Andres Iniesta. And once again it's brought down, and the referee would point to the spot where that incident did of course happen. This time around it's not Toloi, it's Locatelli bringing down the tireless Dani Olmo.
Yes, he had to do that. He had to make sure that Olmo doesn't get past the defense of the Italians to rid of that threat coming from that man Olmo. He's been quite pacey against the defenders for Italy, and so of course it is Locatelli who had to take one for the team. Though yes, a yellow card wasn't shown, but it was a really good option for him to have fouled Olmo at that point in time.
Yeah, on WhatsApp this one says right, it says never supported Spain, but since Italy are not playing good enough, may the best man win. Okay, best man still remains a relative term. Some say that possession, the side with possession isn't necessarily the best team, but that's certainly another argument for another day, as Thiago Alcantara is stepping on it to take the free kick for Spain, sends it into the box, wondering what his intentions truly were, as opposed to a cross from far out. Looks like he was trying to surprise Gianluigi Donnarumma, but there was a deflection and it fell kindly to the goalkeeper.
That change had finally been made. Federico Chiesa has been taken now for Bernardeschi. He's now in the fold to try to give them options going forward.
Bernardeschi joining the foray. And here is Domenico Berardi speeding ahead. Will pick up Andrea Bellotti. Sweet improvisation with the back heel, but wouldn't quite supply the ball to the onrushing blue shirt. The receding men in white were on hand to clear the danger for Spain. As cue the cramps, cue Eric Garcia. The game is taking its toll on the bodies of these players as the centre-back is down on the turf. And he will be needing some attention. Fine ball. Bernardeschi's contribution first appeared to be a very good one.
A very good one, but it wasn't rightly done at the point it should have been done. Laporte had to deal with that, sending the ball straight to Unai Simon, who also had to fire the ball out to protect the Spanish side. It is 1-1 now, and it is the second period of extra time, making sure that they can keep the scoreline even, perhaps getting their own winner against the Italians.
Well, someone has an issue with Spain's penchant for passing the ball around without scoring. It says, what's the point of passing the ball around? What's the essence of passing the ball around to stadium without scoring? Italy deserve the victory. No photocopy is your name, and you're texting us from Rumigbo. Pau Torres replaces Eric Garcia, who's unable to recover from the cramp. Pau Torres will now pair with Aymeric Laporte at centre-back to see out the remainder of the minutes for Spain. His first contribution is to head the ball away for a throw-in, from which Italy will be looking to launch an attack of their own. And coming over is Rafael Toloi to take the ball up in his hand and try to get it into a fellow shirt in blue. Toloi. Excellent shirt in blue. Here's a chance for Domenico Berardi, and that was a fine strike, but the Spanish defenders responded with an equally brilliant piece of defending, and it might be a second bite of the cherry for Berardi, and ball is in the net. Has it counted? Now Berardi has strayed into an offside position, but in quick succession Berardi nearly gets in the best of Spain.
Yes, it is. Has been a good attack coming from the Italians. And once again, it is Berardi who has initiated that. He has been really formidable up front for the Italians in the second period of extra time. He had a goal just disallowed by the linesman as offside. The Italians would have taken the lead over Spain, but once again, it was ruled out for offside.
Next up on WhatsApp, this one says, good evening, Sports Gang. It would have been pretty unfair tonight if Spain had not had a goal before 90 minutes owing to the level of play tonight. However, it's quite great that they had a goal already, and then I want Spain to go through to the final. Ernest is your name, and you're texting us from Port Harcourt. Thank you very much, Ernest. Alcantara back into Americ Laporte. So Pau Torres make that. Rodri. Just take a bit of time to settle in where he's playing at the moment. Pau Torres. He is the man on the ball, Torres. Now Morata can have a feel of it, loses it, but ball is straight into the feet of the Spaniards. And the diminutive Alcantara will spread it to the much bigger Rodri on the physical side of things. Pau Torres. Now Jordi Alba. He has Rodri infield, uses him. Rodri simply takes it back to Pau Torres. Pau Torres looking, of course, to find Dani Olmo. Italians will rob the Spaniards off the ball, but they did so illegally, and that's the reason why Felix Reich has pointed to the point of the incident. Jordi Alba complaining. It's got the best he can possibly get, which is a free kick for Spain.
A free kick for Spain. It was Jordi Alba who won that one for the Spanish side, and it is that man Berardi Bellotti who had to put his hands on his head when the referee said it was a free kick won by Jordi Alba. He was shocked with the decision from the referee. I don't understand why.
Alcantara was up against Manuel Locatelli, who's been very quiet since coming on for Marco Verratti. Italy looking to motion forward. Domenico Berardi at the centre of all things good for them in attack in the last 5 minutes. He will lose the ball to Pau Torres. Pau Torres into Jordi Alba. Let's make that Pedri. Pau Torres once again. Spain are taking the time on the ball, trying to find channels to break the back line of the Italians. Long sweeping ball to Thiago Alcantara, but to no one in particular. Wasn't connecting, wasn't in the same wavelength with his attacking player, he who was looking to release. And now Andrea Bellotti looks to have been fouled while retreating from an offside position. The first incident will take preeminence over the second. The flag is up, and Spain been awarded a kick because of his offside position prior to his receiving of that ball. Now Locatelli up against two Spaniards to the ground. Locatelli wouldn't win a free kick, rather Spain will have a throw. Laporte. Spain finding ways to break the lines despite the hard press of the Italians. Pedri playing a little bit more central in midfield now. Pau Torres is advancing his country forward. Sends it into Morata. Ball carrier now is Jordi Alba. He has Dani Olmo in support. Olmo goes into his midfield to Rodri. Rodri will spread it to Aymeric Laporte, who's motioning forward. Now Gerard Moreno up against Giovanni Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo would win it and perhaps set it in the other way. Berardi in space. What a piece of defending by Pau Torres to prevent that pass from going through, as Morata is up against the entire Italian defence. It's Morata looking for the crossing roads. It's going to go out now for a try.
Morata would have swung the ball in, but he had about 5 defenders to contend with, and the ball just went out for throwing. But Spain has the ball again, Morata is trying to initiate that attack once again for the Spanish side.
Could have managed to do that, Alvaro Morata. Spain still have the ball. And now Gerard Moreno squares it into the midfield area. Back into Gerard Moreno on the far right-hand side. Deep cross straight into the arms of Gianluigi Donnarumma. And the pressure will put her away for a moment. This one says, good evening guys, nice commentary. I think Italy will still win this game because they've got more depth compared to Spain. Any info on the Copa America? Prime Boss is your name. We'll talk about that. Keep listening. This one says, nice game so far. Docas Senior Bro Koki is in the game mix a bit more special. I now respect her as okay. She handled my text with common sense. Yeah, I don't quite get it. Seems you have a thing with this text. Docas Koki, you might want to look at it later. Cantera, bit of a step over. Now Imeric reports. Not a lot of end-to-end activity to report to you, I promise. And typify that is a long ball, searching ball forward, will only go away for an Italian goal kick. Enrique Sporting. And under pressure. Tell you what, if these coaches could manage to sort things out before the penalties, they will certainly do that. And if they don't, the fate of these two countries will be in the hands of Gianluigi Donnarumma and Unai Simon respectively. And the players will of course be looking to beat them. Penalty once again, they say is anyone's game.
You just took that out of my mouth. Penalties is anyone's game, and I hate penalties. It is so frustrating for me. Whether I support you or not, the tension just flows all over me, and that's the one reason why I can't even get to watch penalty. But then these two sides have fought all the way through, and probably it might lead to penalties.
3 more minutes. 3 more minutes for Spain to get a goal. 3 more minutes for Italy to do so. Otherwise, we're headed to the dreaded sport kick situation. Toloi searching for Domenico Berardi, Dani Olmo. And the Italians thought they were clean to break, but it's a yellow card issued to Leonardo Bonucci. The tackle on his club teammate Alvaro Morata. So we have a look at that. It's a high boot and perhaps justified yellow card for Bonucci.
Yeah, it looks justified. Bonucci is doing everything right tonight defensively, being played alongside Chiellini, and they've done wonderfully well to ward off every threat coming in from Alvaro Morata ever since he came on for the Spanish side. So I would commend him. He has kept things quite neat. It's just a few minutes or a few seconds ago that he was yellow carded by Bright, the referee.
Long searching ball into Gerard Moreno. And it is Bernardeschi marking. Now Belotti. Spain would evade their pressure. And now Pau Torres can bring the La Roja forward. And it's sent from whence it came by Manuel Locatelli. This time is heading away. 28 minutes, 30 seconds, make that 40 seconds. We're approaching 29, which will leave us with just a minute left to play before the whistle is sounded. And this message here on WhatsApp is asking for Sergio Ramos. Well, they left him at home. And today is Tuesday, and we have reports that he's currently in Paris trying to sign a 2-year contract with Paris Saint-Germain as a free agent after leaving Real Madrid after 16 years at the Spanish capital.
After linked with Manchester United for several weeks, now he is headed to France for a deal, 2-year deal with PSG. Everyone wants to go to PSG, don't you think so?
So we hear that his pay would be remarkably lower than what he earned at Real Madrid, or what he would have earned if he signed a 1-year contract on offer. And there's something, as you said, about the PSG project that excites Mr. Ramos. As we're into 29 minutes, 40 seconds. Unai Simon with the goal kick to launch it forward. Perhaps one of the last acts of the half. It's sent forward. It's going to go for a throw, which the Italians will take. and it seems fairly certain that this encounter will be decided on the spot kick as the penalties are looming. Teams, of course, have a history with the penalties. Which country will come out tops? And it indeed looks like it's full time for extra time. Felix Bright sounds the whistle, and we're on the way to the penalties. As after 90 minutes and 30 more minutes, these sides remain unseparated. Now a game of courage. Players would have to summon every bit of it. It's never easy making that long walk from the center of the pitch to be the one to take the penalty, knowing that glory or shame awaits. As Enrique is having a word with the Spaniards, they are looking at the statistics. The looks of things, they would have already anticipated the possibility that this would be the outcome, and it is the Italians managing to find a smile.
They are at least smiling. They think they are pretty confident and can really take the Italians, the Spaniards, all the way to penalties. They've done that, and they look like we can do this, we can win this, and that's why they are stealing at least a little bit of smile on their faces. But good work from the two teams. They've done their best from regulation time to extra, to the first period of extra time and the second period done and dusted. Now penalties. Who is finally going to head to the final that will be played here at Wembley, the same venue where the semi-final is being played by Italy versus Spain?
Well. It's all set. Sports kicks will decide. Unai Simon has a bit of an experience in this situation, in this tournament, of course, having saved the blushes of Spain in the game against Switzerland. He saved a couple of penalties, including from our brother in diaspora, Manuel Akonji. Now, Donnarumma receiving hugs. The legendary Gianluigi Buffon will not be between the sticks, but the 22-year-old, who has him as his idol, of course, might well and truly write another piece of history for himself against the Spaniards. On WhatsApp, this one says, good evening, sports gang. I think Spain will shock, let's take it again. I think Spain will shock the world this night. You guys are too much, keep it up. Thank you very much. Sammy from D-Line says, good evening, sports gang. I'm all alone indoors listening to the wonderful analysis from the both of you in the studio. You support Spain winning the game. Your name is Onyeche Marv Kelly, and you're texting from a chair and you say thank you. Oh, the pleasure is all ours, really. If you're not there, we wouldn't be here, so we thank you as well for listening. Next up is one that says, good evening, sports gang. It's been an amazing time with you guys. I really enjoy the commentary. And yeah, well, you said you've been hearing Spain from your mouths. And well, I think you were saying you were rooting to get they did in fact get the equalizer, didn't they?
Yeah, he's actually using abbreviations to speak with us, so it's a little bit confusing, but we get it.
Well, there is a bit of a handshake between the two goalkeepers. Professional courtesy, that's what they call it. Yes, of course, they're not wishing each other well, really, to be honest. It's just formalities, I have to say.
Can I not watch this? You should watch it and then tell the listeners what's going on.
It's in your job description to watch these penalty games and describe for our listener. Well, hearts are pounding and well understandable. It is the Italians who will get us off. Well and truly, it is Locatelli who will be the first man to take. It's the Sassuolo midfielder and the radars of Juve up against Unai Simon of Athletic Bilbao. Gianluigi Donnarumma just walks to his side, waiting for his turn. And brothers in arms, hands on each other's shoulders, the men in blue, all wishing Manuel Locatelli well, as the Italian midfielder is about to step up for his sport kick. It is Unai Simon dancing around the goalpost, trying to be as big as he can. Up steps Locatelli, and saved by Unai Simon. And Italy stopped at the very first kick that they are taking. And Manuel Locatelli, for all of his brilliance through the tournament, hasn't converted from 12 yards. And as it stands, it's Spain with the opportunity to go ahead with their own first sport kick, to be taken by a player we will soon be telling you, and it's the ever-brilliant Dani Olmo. And forgive me for gushing too much about him, but he's been nothing short of spectacular through the game. Will he carry on his in-game form to this penalty kick? Only time will tell. Gianluigi Donnarumma, one of the biggest goalkeepers in world football, would certainly make the most of his size in terms of trying to put the 22-year-old off. Dani Olmo to take with his right foot for Spain. Up steps Olmo, and Olmo will miss just like Locatelli. And Spain will miss the chance to start leading from the very start. And after 2 sport kicks, it is 2 misses. 1 for Italy, 1 for Spain.
Bad penalties taken from Locatelli to Olmo. Dani Olmo has been flawless for Spain throughout this tournament, and also here today against Italy. But this time he just shoots the ball way above the bar, and Donnarumma had nothing to do with that. It was all Dani Olmo. And Locatelli's penalty was really badly taken and was saved by Unai Simon.
Up steps Andrea Bellotti up against Unai Simon, who saved from Locatelli before Olmo would sky his. Here is the number 9 for Italy. Steps up. First goal of the shootouts. Italy have their noses in front. Andrea Bellotti dispatches, but only just, as Unai Simon gets the right way. Couldn't quite make up the distance to stop the ball from going into the back of the net.
Unai Simon was just inches away from punching that ball out, but the ball was faster than he was, and it is Italy 1. Spain are about to come up to take the next one, and they're hoping that Moreno could score this for them.
Out of 2, Italy have scored 1. Out of 2, what will be the outcome for Spain? It is Gerard to take. And it's into the back of the nets. And it is Gerard Moreno of Villarreal responding for Spain. And out of 2 as well, Spain has scored 1. And we're all square yet again in this fixture that has been enthralling so far, for at least most parts of it, I have to say.
And not a well-taken penalty, but at least it's enough for Spain because they are now level with Italy. 1-0 it is after the first 2 misses came from Locatelli and Olmo.
Leonardo Bonucci steps up. I don't know if it's a good policy for defenders to take sport kicks. Never mind Sergio Ramos. Leonardo Bonucci to take for Italy. Up steps Bonucci and dispatched quite confidently. And what was I going on about defenders staying sport kicks? This is the best there has been out of the 5 that have been taken so far. Confidently dispatched, sending Unai Simon the wrong way.
I totally agree with you. It was a well-taken penalty by Bonucci, and you could see what that means to him. He was so excited after he took that one, and it went straight into the back of the net. And it is, of course, Thiago Alcantara who steps up for Spain.
Up steps the number 10 for Spain, brought into the game to replace captain Sergio Busquets, perhaps with the penalties in mind, and he takes it quickly. Oh, what a cheeky penalty. Thiago Alcantara quite easily sends Gianluigi Donnarumma the wrong way, and Spain have responded emphatically to what Leonardo Bonucci just did moments ago, and we're all square once again.
Now we are getting to see better penalties being taken. Alcantara just took one that was really nice too as well, just similar to that of Bonucci for Spain. So it is now level again, 2-2 it is for the 2 teams. Now of course it is of course Italy will now step up to take the next one.
Bernardeschi substituted into the game. Will he cover himself in glory, or would he not? Yes, indeed, it is the former, as Benedeschi has put Italy in front once again, and it's on the Spaniards to respond with a leveler up with his left foot at the adequate height to beat Unai Simon, who guessed once again the right way.
Really, really well taken from that man. But Kosi, I just want to go home right now.
Not yet, not yet. If you're feeling this way, imagine how Alvaro Morata, who is going to be taken now for Spain, will be feeling. He got to go past Gianluigi Donnarumma in regulation time, and he misses from the penalty spot. And Alvaro Morata and his spot kick has resulted in a miserable outcome for Spain, as the number 7 went to his right, and so did Gianluigi Donnarumma. And the big 22-year-old in goal for the Azzurri just managed to stop it. And it's possibly now going to be, or is it? It is indeed advantage Italy, as we're getting to the end of the sport kick, as it were. And up steps, Chelsea's Jorginho with a chance to win it for Italy. He is Chelsea's designated sports kick taker, and he has succeeded on many occasions from this situation. Will he have the calmness? Will he have the precision to send Italy to the final? Here is Jorginho for Italy. Jorginho, and Italy are going to Wembley yet again. And after a grueling 90 minutes and 30 more minutes of extra time, the Azzurri are into the final match of the UEFA Euro 2020 happening in 2021, and Spain's journey has come to an end.
After Morata gave them a lifeline in the extra time, of course, the regulation time. Now he dashed all hopes for Spain after he missed the spot kick. And it was Jorginho who stepped up to take the final spot kick for Italy and slotted it nicely as he sent, of course, Unai Simon the wrong way and slotting the ball the other way. It is Italy who will go to Wembley, who are already at Wembley, but will play in the final, waiting between England and Denmark, who they will face. Well, Italy are off to the final of the Euro 2020.
Well, as it is often with football, it is different feelings for the different sides. Delight for the winners, and a bit of despair for the losing Spain. And you have to applaud the calmness of Jorginho to dispatch that last spot kick in the manner in which he did, and on-goal matching the Azzurri to the finals of the UEFA Euro 2020.
Club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global, and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global, and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the